SoFi stock has been on a tear in 2025, rallying up over $25 per share. Of course, I'm happy about that. I've had SoFi stock rated as a buy all year long in 2025, and I had it rated as a buy in 2024 also. So I'm happy to see this recommendation working out well for my viewers. But viewers also want to know, where will SoFi stock be in 1 year or by the end of next year? Where will SoFi stock price be by the end of 2026, or my SoFi stock price target for the end of 2026? And that's the question I'm going to answer in this video. I'm going to share with you precisely where I'm getting all the numbers to make this stock price prediction for SoFi stock for the end of 2026. So you can see yourself where I'm getting the numbers, the exact numbers I'm using, and whether or not my forecast is on point, too optimistic, or too pessimistic, right? And you can make that determination yourself after seeing all of my numbers and the inputs and the valuation model I'm utilizing to make that prediction. But to make this stock price prediction, I'm going to need a lot of information. And that brings me to the sponsor of this video, Fiscal.ai. So they provide a lot of information that I utilize for my investment research. They're my preferred data provider. There's a link in the description. If you're interested in joining them, you can get a discount for using my link. You can get really great information like earnings per share forecasts, like what I'm sharing with you here, and I'm going to utilize to make my stock price prediction. And you can also get interesting charts like the one I'm sharing with you here on SoFi's forward price to earnings ratio. So all of the information both helps me make better decisions, and it also saves me a lot of time in making my decisions. So back to the main point of the video, which is the stock price prediction. And as I mentioned, I'm going to utilize the earnings per share estimate for fiscal year 2027. The Wall Street analysts that are following SoFi stock expect the company will deliver 75 cents in earnings per share in 2027. Another piece of information I'm going to need is SoFi's forward price to earnings ratio, which as of this recording, SoFi is trading at a forward PE of 60, which is near the higher end of where this stock has traded for, going all the way back to early this year. So now that we have the inputs, I can go ahead and share with you the model I'm utilizing to make this stock price prediction. And I've modeled 4 different scenarios here for SoFi stock by the end of 2026. So the 75 cents in earnings per share for 2027 is the number I'm utilizing. And if you're wondering why I'm using the 2027 earnings per share estimate to make my price prediction for 2026, it's because I'm using the forward 1-year price to earnings ratio. And if you're using the forward 1-year price to earnings ratio, you're incorporating the earnings per share from 1 year ahead to include for your combination with the forward PE to make your stock price estimate for the end of a certain year. So if SoFi's earnings per share remains on track to hit 75 cents by the end of 2027, and the forward PE ratio remains at 60, the stock price could end up at $45 by the end of next year. Now, this scenario is likely. There is a probability it does reach $45, but I think that's a little optimistic for my viewpoint. I think what's more likely is SoFi's forward PE ratio declines slightly, and if it falls to 55, then the stock price could still rise meaningfully to $41 a share. If the forward PE ratio falls to 50, the stock price could rise to $37.50, which would be a 50% increase year over year. If the forward PE ratio were to fall by 25% to 45, then the stock price could still increase to $33.75. So in all scenarios, I'm forecasting an increase in SoFi stock price, and I think an increase is the most likely outcome. I do think there is a chance the stock price falls next year and ends up lower than where it ends 2025, but I think that's less likely than a stock price increase. Some of the catalysts that I think are lifting SoFi stock price for the rest of this year and next year is the expansion of the company's higher margin, lower capital business segments that's generating revenue with less risk. And it's de-risking the business. Remember, this is an above average risk stock. And one of the reasons it's an above average risk stock is because of the large concentration of the company's loan portfolio focused on personal loans, which are the riskiest types of loans. But in recent quarters, SoFi has diversified that business by finding third party lenders willing to buy a large bulk of the loans it originates, the personal loans it originates. And that's a high margin, low risk business. Additionally, the company's tech segment and financial services segment is growing nicely, growing faster than the lending portfolio. I expect that will continue diversifying the business away from lending and more towards tech and financial services, which would attract a higher valuation from investors. The more the business is valued like a bank, the less the forward PE multiple will be. The more the business is valued on tech and financial services, the higher the valuation could be. So that's why the management team is very focused on improving those segments of the business and de-emphasizing the lending portfolio. And that's one of the reasons why it's partnering with these third-party lenders that are interested in buying their loan assets, because it de-risks the business, it improves the balance sheet, and it attracts investors that are looking for that kind of trajectory from the company's management team. So all that being said, where do I think the stock price ends 2026? What do I see as the most likely scenario? Well, I think the share price likely increases, and I think it ends next year between $35 and $38 per share. That would be a nice increase from the current market price, which is $25 per share and has rallied significantly in 2025. As I mentioned, I've had SoFi stock rated as a buy all year long in 2025. I last updated that recommendation on July 29th. I'll update that recommendation again today, reiterating that I think the stock is a buy. And you can see here I updated my price target for SoFi stock to $35 to $38, and I included the date I updated that price prediction, August 27, 2025. Of course, if you want access to this spreadsheet that includes my buy and sell recommendation for over 100, closer to 200 companies, and my price prediction for dozens of companies, you can get access to this via a membership to my channel at the investor tier or above. You can see the link in the description for all of the membership benefits. This spreadsheet is just one of the membership benefits. You get other spreadsheets as well, including the spreadsheets with my discounted cash flow valuations, including the link to the file that includes my highlighted conference call transcripts, and much, much more. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.